Hello, now I would like to turn my attention on finding the range of your graphs. And if you recall, the range is just the set of all y values. So instead of looking at the x-axis, we're now going to focus on the y-axis. And to read the y-axis, remember that we established that we were going to read from bottom to top, again from least to greatest. So in this problem, what we can do is we can kind of imagine just ignoring this x-axis now. The x-axis is not going to play an important role in determining our range in particular. And now we play the same game, but this time we're going to read from bottom to top. So I'm going to start at the bottom, and again I have to find my lower bound. So I go up, 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 and then here I spot my lower bound. My lower bound is here at this open circle, and this time I'm going to draw a horizontal line. And now I'm going to draw a dashed horizontal line to indicate that we have an open lower bound of positive 1 here. And now we want to find our upper bound, so we keep going up, 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 and here is where our graph ends. It stops at positive 3 with an open circle. So now we cut through it with a solid horizontal line. So here y equals 3. So again, I want to emphasize that the range here, the range is the set of all y values. So here we can think about any general y being squeezed between 1 and 3. So here we can rewrite this as, well, y is going to be in the middle. It's going to be less than positive 1. And we're going to write this strict inequality no equal to because of this open circle. And now we can write less than or equal to positive 3. And then the less than or equal to associated with this closed circle. And this right here, that is going to be the range of this graph. All right, let's try the next example. So here, again, since we're trying to identify the range, we are trying to look at the set of all y values that satisfy our range. So let's ignore the x-axis as best as possible, and let's focus on reading the graph from bottom to top. So let's start at the bottom, and let's identify the lower bound. So if we keep going up, 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 you see that our lower bound is going to be at -2 with a closed circle. So we can cut through this with a horizontal line, and the horizontal line is going to be solid. That's my lower bound. So now let's pick it up and keep going so we can find our upper bound. So here it's still, the graph still has it's still growing. So we have to keep going, keep going, keep going. And here is where the graph stops. It stops at positive 3, this time with a open circle. So we cut through it horizontally with a dashed line. And here is 3. So we can think about any general y within these boundaries. Right, this y value is going to get squeezed between 3 and -2. So we can rewrite this as y being less than or equal to, or sorry, let me backtrack a little bit. Being less than positive 3 and being less than or equal to -2. Again, the less than or equal to because of this closed circle, the less than with no equal to due to this open circle here. Okay, let's try and do the last one. Or sorry, this is the range. So now let's try and do the last one without erasing the x-axis. So here, again, since we want the range, we got to start from bottom to top. So if we go, we can see that here, the lower bound is at this continuous turn here, and since it's solid, we're going to establish that this is a closed point. So we can cut through this with a solid line. My lower bound is going to be at 1. And now, if I keep going up, we see that the upper bound is going to be at positive 3 at this open circle. So remember, open means dashed. So now we have these bounds here for our y. So here my lower bound is 1, my upper bound is 3. So let's write the range as y being less than positive 3 and being greater than or equal to 1. And that is going to be the range.